Hi everybody, this is Shawn from Life Management Coaching Solutions. I want to talk to you today about how each of us is shaping one another's behavior by the way in which we approach and respond to other people. So the first thing I want to talk about is the human drive to experience pleasure and to avoid pain, right? Two fundamental basics. For example, getting our needs met is typically associated with pleasure. It feels good, right? And avoiding pain is also a very strong drive because it's not pleasurable. It hurts, and it's usually bad for us. So number one is that all of us human beings have in common that we strive to move towards pleasure and away from pain. Now, this truth is utilized every day around the world by all of us, whether we know it or not. And the way that it is utilized is contingent on whether or not we have good intentions, first of all, and second of all, whether or not we know that it's happening to us and that we're doing it to others. So the second piece, the first piece was that we all want to move towards pleasure and away from pain. And the second piece is that we are shaping one another's behavior. We're shaping the habits that we develop by the way that we respond to other people's behavior. So for example, if a person engages in a certain action, right, and then we pair that action with a pleasurable consequence, also known as a reward, then that behavior is likely to be repeated. And on the other side of that coin, if we either give an aversive consequence or threaten to give an aversive consequence to a person for engaging in a certain behavior, they are likely to not engage in that behavior again because they don't want to experience the pain that was paired with that, right? So the third piece on this is the question of who is shaping you. Is it you shaping yourself, or is someone else shaping you? And you can tell by being able to recognize when someone is giving you a reward or a punishment, and what it was that you were doing at the time that that happened. So for example, if I suddenly excel in my school and I get really good grades, and I say to someone, hey, guess what? I just got an A on my paper. If that person then mocks me, laughs at me, slaps the paper out of my hand, tells me that you didn't do a good job cleaning the house today, or you did a bad job at everything else in life. What they're doing is reframing my achievement into a failure. And that would be an example of an aversive consequence. So effectively minimizing my success. And what that's going to do is shape me into a person who does not pursue excellence, because excellence is associated with pain, right? So it's important that you're the one that's shaping yourself and that other people are not shaping you. And if they are, that you can identify it and make sure that they're doing it in a way that moves you in a direction that is good for you, right? And that's the kind of shaping that we want people to do. For example, you want to go towards well-being and flourishing so you can have your best life. Well, then what the people that hang out with you need to do is reward you when you show signs of flourishing, reward you when you show signs of well-being, and give you that aversive confidence, aversive consequence when you're showing signs of ill-being or shriveling or engaging in inappropriate, social behaviors that are harmful, such as, and for example, by aversive consequence, what I mean is, they say, no, that's not okay. Change their voice tone. They say, you're not going to hurt me. You're not going to spend time with my family if you are going to be a poor role model for my children. You're not going to come over here if it's going to threaten me and my family and make us lose our housing because the landlord doesn't want you to do drugs here. Whatever that might be, right? So, in a nutshell, all human beings have an innate drive to avoid pain and move towards pleasure. And people who understand this principle use it, and hopefully they're using it for good, right? Like parents use it for good when they teach their children to move along a path that will lead them towards well-being and flourishing in adulthood. And children are getting taught wrong by their parents when their parents are rewarding bad behavior, right? And punishing good behavior. This happens a lot, believe it or not. And consequently, people end up paying the price later on in adulthood for having been shaped inappropriately, having been taught things in a backwards way. And then, so finally, it's important that if you are rewarding behavior, that you're rewarding behavior that is pro well-being and flourishing. And that's it. Have a great day.